Okay, this is a huge video for the channel. Not only am I going to go over this awesome set, but I am also going to have a big channel update here at the end of this video, but I'll save that for the end, so we'll just get right into it. I first off want to say I'm super excited to add this to my collection. I know I said that in a lot of videos, that I'm super excited to add a figure or figures to my collection, and I really always am, but this one's a little different. I will say these two figures were probably the two figures I wanted the most after getting my Carnegie collection Albertosaurus. That figure was the figure I've always wanted, and these two were right up there with it. But since getting that one, these two were probably the top of my list of figures I wanted, if they weren't tied up with that figure already. And it's because the importance of the Field Museum is the main reason. When I was little, I went to the Field Museum. It's really the only big museum I've ever been to that I can think of. And it's just played such a big role in my life. I just remember it so well, especially Sue. Sue, I still remember seeing Sue in the museum and seeing that her actual skull had to be in a case, because the one on the mount, it would have been too heavy to mount it, so they had to put the actual skull in something else and had to put a fake skull on it. It was just so memorable. And I even have pictures from when I was at the Field Museum when I was little. Yeah, that was little me. I guess kind of a face reveal for the channel, but obviously a few years back, probably over 10, honestly, at this point. Yeah, I'd say definitely over 10, actually. But yeah, the Field Museum's super important to me. Sue being super important, just because that was the only really big museum I've ever been to, and it was so amazing. I mean, that was from years ago, and I still remember it so well. I even remember some of the stuff I got at the gift shop. I remember I got a Safari LTD too, but yeah, the Field Museum, big part of why I like dinosaurs. Because I'd always liked dinosaurs, but going to the Field Museum definitely didn't hurt it. We'll say that. It definitely helped my already love for dinosaurs and prehistoric animals. And I really wanted to get a Sue figure because, like I said, I remember Sue. I have a ton of Tyrannosaur figures, but with this model being 100% based off Sue, I really wanted to get it. And also, I really wanted a Torosaurus. It's a ceratopsian I really like, and I did not own a figure of Torosaurus, at least not that I'm aware of. I have a ton of Triceratops, but I don't have a Torosaurus. Well, I kind of have a Torosaurus figure. I'll go over that in a future video. But yeah, I already own one of the three figures in the Field Museum line, and that is the Field Museum Anatotitan / Edmontosaurus. I'll put a link to that video. But pretty much the reason why I say Field Museum Anatotitan / Edmontosaurus, at the time the figure was made, Anatotitan was considered to be a valid genus. Now it's considered just a species of Edmontosaurus, which would be Edmontosaurus annectans, which was the Edmontosaurus species that lived with Tyrannosaurus rex and Torosaurus. And in this Sue Safari LTD Field Museum line, there was 4 figures. There's 2 versions of Sue, the Torosaurus and the Anatotitan. Since I already had the Anatotitan, this set was definitely the one I wanted. The other set has the Anatotitan and the other version of Sue, and I really wanted to get for sure one version of Sue, and I would honestly probably rather get the one with the mouth open, because then there's not as much of a problem as far as the teeth accuracy thing. But I really didn't care which version of Sue I got, but I definitely wanted to get a version of Sue and a Torosaurus and the Anatotitan. So whenever I saw this box set go up on eBay, I knew I had to get it. I already have, on multiple occasions, tried to get these 2 figures individually, but both times they went a little too high on auction. But whenever I saw a box set of the pair from one of my favorite sellers, I knew I had to try and win the auction. I expected the auction to actually sell for way more than it did. I don't think anyone bid after me, actually. The set sold for $33, which is less than 2 of these figures have sold for individually before, in times I've tried to get them. So I had my max bid actually pretty close to 60, so I was thrilled to get it for the price I did. I think it ended up showing there was 4 bids on it, and it was just me increasing my bid every time. And funny enough, this is not actually the first time I've bought a Tyrannosaur and Ceratopsian from the same formation from this seller. Obviously, Tyrannosaurus and Torosaurus are both from the Hell Creek formation, but I bought... Well, actually, Torosaurus might be from a different formation with T-Rex, but they're from the same formation. But Vagaceratops and Gorgosaurus actually bought a lot from the same seller that had these 2 figures. I'll put a link to that video. But yeah, so this is not even the first time I bought a Tyrannosaur and Ceratopsian from this seller. in a lot. And I considered doing a 2-in-1 review over these figures, but I realized that video would probably be way too long, so I decided 3 shorter videos would be better than 1 super long video. But there will definitely be individual figure reviews for both of these figures. But so what I had considered was going all this like introduction stuff I already have, then individually reviewing Sue, individually reviewing the Torosaurus, but I decided that it would probably be better off just to separate them into 3 videos. For one, it just gets me 3 videos, and I thought it would have just been better as far as time, because this would have been like a over 30-minute video whenever I could have like 3 closer to 10-minute videos. And now we're going to unbox it. I know some people would probably keep this thing sealed, but and the condition of the box is really good. I'm definitely going to keep the box, but I am going to unbox them. So we'll go over actually some of the stuff on the box first. So, like it says, Sue is the largest, most complete, and best preserved Tyrannosaurus rex. That might still be the case. I'm not 100% sure, though. Torosaurus was a bird-hipped dinosaur from the group known as Ceratopsians. Yep, that's pretty accurate. And then here's the picture of Sue on May 17th, 2000. The Field Museum unveiled Sue, the largest, most complete, and best preserved Tyrannosaurus rex fossil yet discovered. And on the bottom here, we've got like some pictures of some dinosaurs. Some of these are actually based off Safari's figures. That's the Safari old Anatotosaurus. That's the old Safari Allosaurus. That's the old Safari Apatosaurus, the Pachycephalosaurus, the Brachiosaurus, and the Stegosaurus. Those are all old Safari figures. And then on the very back, we've got a picture of Sue with looks like that Anatotitan, length 42 feet, 13 feet mounted at the hips height. Weight 7 tons when alive, more than 3,000 pounds in bone. The skull alone being 5 feet long, 58 teeth. Time period they lived at 67 million years, and this was in the South Dakota. There's actually a whole documentary over Sue called, I believe, Dinosaur 13. It's been a while since I've watched that one, but I thought it was good at the time. It's not as much like a Walking with Dinosaurs style documentary. Like, there's not as much just dinosaur stuff. It's more going over the whole process of Sue, getting like found and stuff, and the auction of Sue. I think that's what it was. But I think it was pretty good if my memory serves right. But yeah, we're going to try to free Sue from her case. Well, Sue and the Torosaurus. Okay, I think the best route to do this would be to just cut the tape line. Okay, I saved you all from some of the opening process, but we did get it out of the first box, but it's still in like the diorama looking thing, and it does look good. But I'm going to try to get these out while we're keeping it as in good of shape as possible, so I am going to cut out the part of me actually getting them out of the box, but I guess you all will see it in a second, them out of the box, but it'll probably take me a minute or so. Okay, we finally got the figures out. We have some good news and some bad news. The good news is we got them out and they look good, but the bad news is the T-Rex or Sue. I can't really get the stand correctly. Mine's looking like it's going to be a tripod. But it's not the end of the world. I probably could get it fixed if I really wanted to, but I mean, I'm fine with it being like that for now. But yeah, so glad to almost have the set complete. I will say, if I don't find the mouth shut Sue, it's not the end of the world, but I would love to get that figure just to have the complete set of 4, but these are definitely the 3 I wanted the most. Like I said, I wanted these 2 figures and one of the versions of Sue, and honestly, out of the 2, this was probably the one I wanted the most. So, definitely glad to have these 3. But yeah, this Torosaurus, I really wanted it. Torosaurus was one of my favorite ceratopsians, with it being featured in like Walking with Dinosaurs, and I just didn't have a good figure of it. Or whenever I do the individual figure review, I'll kind of explain why I kind of think I have a Torosaurus figure. But yeah, this figure is awesome. The only thing I will say about these Field Museum line figures, they are a little bit smaller than you would probably expect for Safari. They're almost like an in-between between the tube figures and the regular figures. But I definitely do like them a lot. And honestly, having smaller figures is definitely not an issue with me. Just they take up less space, especially when they're this high quality. These are amazing figures for how small they are. I believe they are to some scale, but I'm not for sure what the scale is. And here's how, I'll let you all see how the box set looks after removing the figures. So if I think I could definitely put the figures back in if I wanted to, and I could probably squeeze the Edmontosaurus in so I could have all three in my Field Museum's box, but I'm definitely fine with having it in its current shape. But yeah, these two figures are awesome. I love the Torosaurus figure. Definitely wanted to get a Torosaurus figure, and I believe this is one of the best ones. It's so accurate and doesn't take up much space. And just to have a good figure of Sue is awesome. And now we're going to get into, well, actually, I do want, since I said I consider making this an individual figure review, but I didn't, I will give some information about the two. Starting with Torosaurus. Torosaurus at one point was thought to be a growth stage of Triceratops where it would be the adult, but now that's not believed to be the current idea. They are believed to be closely related ceratopsians that would live in the same areas, or in the same formations, but they're not believed to be the same species or genus anymore. And T-Rex, one cool thing I can say about T-Rex is the dinosaur Tarbosaurus was once considered to be a species of T-Rex, except it would have been, I believe, Tyrannosaurus bataar, but now it's Tarbosaurus bataar, so that's two little cool information bits. But these two will get individual figure reviews in the future. I don't know how soon it'll be, but they will get individual figure reviews. And now we're going to get into the big channel update. So I'm going to go first over some upcoming videos. Two of these videos will be coming this week for sure. Well, I think three will come this week if you count Sunday. So this video I believe is going to come out on Monday. But two upcoming videos, I've got a video featuring my first Jurassic Park Hammond collection figure, which I'm super excited to review. Then I also have some Dinosaur King figures, and if you know what Dinosaur King is, it's almost like a Pokemon-like anime, but it's dinosaurs instead of Pokemon, which I think is awesome. I watched the whole series a long, long time ago when I was little, and I just always loved it. And I had some of the cards, but I never bought any of the figures. But I finally got some of the figures, so I'm so excited to go over them. And I have a big announcement coming Sunday, and it involves Tyrannosaurus Rex. So just stay tuned for that huge announcement. I think it'll be Sunday, so this video is going to come out Monday, then the Hammond Collection video is coming out Wednesday. The Dinosaur King figures Friday. Yeah, I think the big announcement will be Friday, so stay tuned for that. And I do want to mention one other thing. We're almost at 100 subscribers. I can't believe it. If you would have told me that this channel was going to be at 100 subscribers whenever I first made it, almost at 100 subscribers by the end of the year, I wouldn't have believed you. But we're at a pace right now that I'm honestly expecting to be at 100 subscribers by the end of the year. I will not jinx myself, but I honestly think that's the rate we're going. So I want to thank you all so much, and I would love if you would subscribe, but I try not to do it in too many videos because I know it can get annoying, especially to people that are already subscribed, and especially if you put it at the beginning, and that's why I put it at the end. But yeah, we're so close to 100 subscribers, and I honestly don't even know what I want to do for the 100 subscriber special, so I'm actually going to put a poll up over some ideas I have for this 100 subscriber special. So I would love for you all to vote on that. That poll will probably either be up or really close to up around when this video comes, so if you would vote, that would help a lot since I'm not for sure what I want to do yet. And then one other thing, well, actually, I think that's it. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. So excited to add these two amazing figures to my collection. My first Torosaurus figure, and this might be my first. I think I have a tube that had Sue in it, but I think this is my first, really my biggest version of Sue, I guess. But yeah, so excited to add these two to the collection. Yeah, and I do want to say once again, I would love if you all would subscribe, but I know that it kind of gets annoying whenever I ask, or I know I don't ask a ton, but whenever YouTubers ask, but it would definitely mean the world, because I would love to hit 100 subscribers before the end of the year. And I feel like as this channel continues to grow, only good things are happening. I'm going to be able to teach more people about dinosaurs and prehistoric animals, and honestly, I think we could eventually get to the point where I could get figures early, like how some YouTubers got to go over some of the safari figures early. I think this channel could almost get to that one day, and I think that would be so awesome. Because not only would I get to get figures early, but you all would get to see figures early and help you all decide if you all want to get them. So, yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I am out for this video. But, like I said, stay tuned for Sunday. There's going to be a very, very big video. well, obviously this is a big video because it was getting such awesome figures, but it's going to be a big announcement video. I almost forgot to do the featured figures section. So if you haven't seen my channel before, I do these little featured figures sections where I go over all the figures that were shown in the video and go over each of them, so I can help you all try to get them if you want to get them. But so obviously these two are from the Safari Ltd Field Museum line. This is a retired line, but you can still find some of the figures on eBay. These two are two of the harder ones to get. The two versions of Sue are pretty hard to get, and the Torosaurus is pretty hard to get. This Anatotitan, I believe there's a decent listing. I think the listing that I got mine from is still up, actually. They had a bunch available. So if that listing's still up, I will put a link to it. But yeah, these three are all from the Safari Ltd Field Museum line. That is the three that were out, plus one other version of Sue with a closed mouth. And then the other two featured figures was the Safari Ltd Vagaceratops. This figure's still in production, and I believe on Safari Ltd's website right now. And this is the Safari Ltd Gorgosaurus. I'll put a link to the video of the lot of these two, and I'll put a link to the video of this figure, and I'll try to put a link to the eBay listing of that figure if it's still in stock. If it's not, I'll try to put in the comments or something or in the description that it was sold out, but I think it is still available at the time of recording this. But yeah, once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'm out.